Hello again, people. Yes, this is part 2 of the 52 game challenge update videos. Basically where I try to beat 52 games in a year, so one a week. There's quite a lot of people doing this. What I'll do is I'll tag them in the description so you can see everyone else who's doing these little challenges. This is going to be games number 11 to 20 that I completed. If you want to know what 1 to 10 were, I'll leave a link to the other video saying what they were, somewhere either at the end of this video or in the description. Any of that jazz, I don't know. Yeah, let's just crack on. Game number 11 was Umurangi Generation. I've had to look at how that's spelled. U-M-U-R-A-N-G-I. Umurangi, it's got to be, isn't it? It was a weird photography game. Like there's some kind of apocalyptic event going on in the background with these monsters battling and stuff, and it's a weird anime kind of story to it, I guess. But you just take photos of it to unravel some kind of conspiracy, but you spend more time taking photos of seagulls and things in weird positions or trying to get a certain number of birds in frame if you want to get all the achievements. It's weird. It was actually quite enjoyable though. I did play it to completion, got all the achievements on it. Of course I did, I completed it. It was a game. We're talking about games I've completed. Yeah, it was about 2 hours long. It has something to do with the YouTuber Thor High Heels, I think. I don't know what their involvement was, so I don't know why it might be music or something, I don't know. But it's a very weird game. Aesthetically it reminds me of like Jet Set Radio, but I can't remember it being that cel shaded. I don't know. We'll just call it weird anime Pokemon Snap apocalyptic game. That's pretty much what it was. Just taking photos. The achievements were like complete. There's like a checklist of things you need to do to get all the things in a level. But achievements are like taking photos in a certain amount of time or doing things in a time limit. But it's not it's not hard. It's not difficult at all. It was on Game Pass, but unfortunately it's been removed. But it's still on the store, I'm pretty sure. I don't know how much it costs. It was quite fun. If you want something very different, give it a go. Yeah. First person camera game. I enjoyed it. Bit of a theme here. Played a lot of stuff on Game Pass this year, so I don't have that many physical games to show you in this section of the video, but never mind. It's all good. So game number 12 was Shredders. It was a snowboarding game. Yeah. It was good. I enjoyed it. It took a long time to get used to. Like the trick system in it was pretty janky, and it wasn't the most polished of games, but it reminded me of going back to playing games like 1080 snowboarding when I was a kid, that kind of stuff. So I didn't mind that it was a bit rough around the edges. It was kind of like a, what do I call it, open world. It just dumps you on a mountain and you've got to do all the things on the mountain. Achievement wise it wasn't difficult. It was just completing all the missions. Some of the missions are a bit weird. It's set out as like, I think it's either an influencer or something keeps pestering you, or you're trying to get their attention or something along those lines. But none of the characters have faces. It's really weird. They wear like entire ski masks and they look like they're trying to rob a bank or something. Very strange game. I did enjoy it. It got a physical release actually on the PlayStation 5, I think, from Limited Run. I'd happily play it again, but that probably costs a lot of money now, so I don't want to spend money on it. Not on the second-hand market. Yeah, it was alright. It wasn't the best snowboard. Actually, it was one of the better snowboarding games I've played compared to the other ones, like Shaun White's Pro Snakes. Was it Shaun White's Snowboarding? That's not very good. Some other ones I've played recently. I was going to play that Mark McMorris Infinite Air, but realised it had a lot of unobtainable achievements, so I wiped that off. Yeah. Shredders is alright if you want something janky. Plays a bit more like a retro snowboarding game. There isn't much more to say about it. It was very easy completion. You did need to play online with other people, but it was literally for just joining a game, I think. Something really weird like that. But yeah, overall easy completion. Not too hard. You don't have to do anything on like the hardest difficulties. I think you just have to hit the lowest level of each challenge to progress. So yeah, it was pretty easy. If you like snowboarding games, you might like it. That's not much to say about that one. Sorry. Game number 13 is a game I played before on the Xbox One and completed, got all the achievements out of it, so I thought I'd do it again on the Xbox 360 because it was going to go offline. Well, the online component of it was disappearing, which was Rayman Legends. This is literally one of the best platformers you can actually play. This is amazing. The art style is fantastic. There's levels which are set to music, so you're running like there's one that's set to Black Betty, and you just run along and everything explodes at the same time as the drum beats and things. This is fantastic. It's just a shame that the last achievement on it requires you to play online challenges, and it's a lot of online challenges to increase your rank, which is completely pointless. But I got to a point where the servers went offline, so I wasn't able to get the last achievement. But I'm classing that as done because I've done as much as I can. But strangely, the servers came back online, so I got back on it and was trying to get the end of it again. I got really close to having the last achievement, and then they went offline again. And I don't think they're coming back. I think it was a mistake that they came back the first time. But yeah, this is one of the most fluid, best controlling, best looking platformers I can think of. I would recommend playing the PS4 or Xbox One versions now because you can still complete them. This one, sadly, if you want all the achievements, you're going to miss one. But it is, I love this. Play this game. This is great. The one before it, Rayman Origins, is still good, but this one I think was, yeah, this one was so much better. I don't know why. It's mad. Everything about it, that all the stages are just strange. You have to do a lot of collecting stuff and searching for things, but you expect that in a platformer, don't you? So, yeah, play it. Game 14 was another Game Pass game. It's called Disc Room. It's like a little top-down. Imagine like the old Zelda games, that kind of view, but it's like I think it's roguelike, I'm not sure actually. You go into different rooms and there'll be a set of like discs bouncing around, and your goal is to avoid them for a certain amount of time, usually without dying. That is it. But it gets hectic. It is actually really, really good fun when it starts like getting up to crazy speeds and you're like in the zone dodging stuff. It's fantastic. There's a lot of weird things in it, like achievements are like based on going to certain squares in certain orders, or there's a lot of weird little puzzly bits. But it isn't a very hard completion. It just takes a bit of patience and a couple of goes. But yeah, there isn't much more to say of it other than just dodging rooms of blades. But again, it's got that quick, you die, you can start up again and keep going kind of gameplay to it that I really enjoy. It's weird, it looks like an old Flash game, kind of. The graphics are dreadful on it, but I think they're purposefully dreadful. I just honestly play this is good fun. I don't know if it's still on Game Pass. If it is, give it a go. I put it on thinking, what the hell is this? And I got so addicted to it. I don't know if I sat there and completed it in one go. I might have. But yeah, it's something different, something very different. I guess I'm trying to think what it's closest to. Hyperdot. If anyone's ever played Hyperdot, it's a game where you move a little dot around the screen and dodge everything that's coming at you. That was pretty good as well. But that got removed from Game Pass. Yeah, give Disc Room a go. It's different, and it's really addictive. I really enjoyed it. Finally, another one I can show you the game case for. So number 15 was Tape, Unveil the Memories, I think it's called. It is. Yeah, this is weird. It's a first person, I guess, horror, kind of like last video I talked about Rachel Foster. It's more narrative, but there are enemies in this, and you do have to do a bit of stealthing around them and things. But the main mechanic is you've got this like camera which you can speed up and slow down, or fast forward and rewind. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, but you can use this to like manipulate objects. So you can point the camera at something and rewind time, and it'll go back to where it was. Fast forward it, and it'll fall over or whatever. So a lot of the puzzles are based around moving bits in the room to move another bit to push that back, if that makes any sense. It had a pretty interesting story as well. It isn't a hard game. It isn't a hard completion. It's pretty easy. I remember there's quite a lot of collectibles and things in it. Remember there being collectibles. But yeah, I'm trying to think. It's one of those ones that again, I don't want to spoil the story of it. It was different. I think it's very cheap to buy, so I'd give it a go. It's got interesting mechanics. Like, you don't have unlimited rewind and fast forward if you tape. You have to kind of like recharge the camera, and you do it with these weird rocking horses, so you can kind of move stuff, and then you can run back and steal some more time from these rocking horses. It's a bizarre game, but it has some pretty good puzzles in it. There's one that's a bit annoying where you've got to cross a giant great big hole in the floor, and you have to bring down paintings off of a wall to make a bridge across, but they move in the strangest pattern. But it's actually really good. I enjoyed this. I do like my kind of walking simulators. Would I call this one kind of? To be honest, you could make it a walking simulator. There's an option on this, I think, to turn the enemies off, so you can just enjoy the story. But you don't see the enemies all that often, so I wouldn't recommend turning them off. They're like it's always the same enemy. He's like a big hulking metal thing with a light on his face, like a camera. And all you do is you have to dodge him. He's not hard to dodge. Good game. I enjoyed this. This was one of those ones I randomly bought because I was like, what the hell is that? Never heard of it. I think it was on the game collection or something. It was very cheap then, so yeah, give Tape a go. I enjoyed it. Game number 16, we are back to the digital titles. This is one that actually has a physical. I wanted to buy it like forever. I really like the look of it because I've completed all the other games in the series. It is Hot Wheels Unleashed. Strangely, I like Hot Wheels games. I don't know why. Something about them, they're just fun, and it reminds me of a kid driving cars around big loops and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, stupid things. But yeah, it always held its value for some reason. So I thought, nah, I'll wait. Then the Game of the Year edition got added to Game Pass with all of the DLC. So I thought this is the best time to play it, so I don't have to pay for extra DLC and I don't have to pay for the game. So yeah, it's actually a really fun racer. It's pretty well polished. The controls are good. The tracks are pretty interesting with all the loops, and it's just like driving around Hot Wheels tracks. So it's good fun. But towards the later game, there's a lot of time trials, and the time trials are tough. The only way you can beat them is by finding shortcuts off the track to, like, I don't know, basically cheat the game. There's ones like you have to go off jumps and launch yourself using boosts through the air to clear entire sections of the track. It's the only way you're ever going to beat the times. Which, to be honest, I had to look up how to beat some of them, because I'm not that bad at racing games, and I was smashing my way through the tracks normally, thinking I must be able to do this, and I'd be like 20 seconds off. I was like, if it was a couple of seconds, you'd be able to shave that away, but at 20, I was like, there's something I'm missing here. And some of them I don't even think, it doesn't feel like the game was built that you should be playing it that way. But it isn't overly difficult once you know where you're going with them. It's worth playing. The completion might be a bit of a struggle for some if you're not the best at racing games, which is odd because it's catered more to children. I would recommend playing it on Game Pass while you can, because all the DLC for it is licensed, so it's like Batman and things, and when the license runs out, that's going to disappear. So get that done before the licenses run out, is what I'd say if you want to play it. It's got Looney Tunes in it as well, which is quite cool. We drive around Looney Tunes tracks with like explosions and stuff going on. Yeah, it's a good fun game. I recommend it. There's a sequel either out or coming out, which I want to play. Hopefully they've got rid of that stupid time trial thing, but we'll find out. A good game, honestly. Play it. You'll be surprised. Game number 17 continues with the digital games again. Yeah, I feel bad not holding anything up, but there'll be footage. That's alright. It is a game called One Hell of a Ride. I played it because I do like True Achievement medals every month, and I needed something, and I can't remember what it was for. It needed to have something in the title or something of the games I was completing. So yeah, I downloaded this. It was like a couple of pounds in the sale. It's a car combat racing game, but oh my god, is it bad. Like, the cars do not turn at all. It is the worst control in a game I think I've played in a very long time. You drive around the same incredibly bland tracks over and over. You can buy new vehicles and upgrade them. Once you've got the upgraded ones, it does make it a bit more bearable to control. And when you get to that point and you're just driving around the track, it becomes mind-numbing. I would not recommend this game to anyone. It was absolutely painful. It was supposed to be a very quick and easy completion. I think I was playing it for about 3 hours. Oh, dreadful. I can't recommend it. I can't think of a good thing to say about it other than just do not play it. Fucking awful. Hopefully, if I put the footage of it in here, you'll see how bad it is, but I'll probably only find a trailer of it, won't I? And that'll be trying to show it at its best. I don't want to install it again to record footage. I don't want to play it again. Okay, for game 18, do not judge me. Don't judge me. It was 4 games in 1. I beat the Pretty Girls Collection 2. Like, I'm looking away. Can't look at the camera. No. I just thought this was bizarre. I didn't know why this had a physical release. It popped up in, I think, one of the WhatsApp groups or something. Someone said about it, so I thought, screw it. It was really cheap. I'll give it a go. I don't know why it's an 18. There's no reason. There's no nudity. There's no nothing. I don't think there's any really swimsuity bits in it. Basically, it's a collection of Mahjong, that weird game where you draw a line to reveal a picture behind it, and poker. I have a big feeling that the Switch version of this does contain nudity in things, hence why this has the 18 rating, but the PlayStation one does not. It is just a really bad selection of mini games, basically. I do like Mahjong though, but there's 2 Mahjong games on here, and you've got to beat every single one to finish the game, and it got on a bit, dragged a bit, but you do get 4 platinums out of this. So if you're a trophy hunter, go for it. Usually I wouldn't include a game like this in my 52 game challenge because it'll be the individual games, but where I beat all 4 of them on one disc, yeah, I'm classing it. And as sad as it sounds, if there's a 3rd one coming out, or it's come out and there's a one before it, I feel like I should do them all. But I think every single collection's the same, like 2 Mahjong, a poker, and the weird line game, which I can never remember what it's called. This is awful. But everything from Funbox Media is usually awful. There was another game I completed, which I don't know if I've included in the 52 game challenge from Funbox, because it was that bad. I'm not sure. I don't think I did. I'll mention it now because I don't think I included it. It was a Taxi the Simulator? Taxi Driver the Simulator. Literally, it was completed in 10 minutes. Dreadful game. But that one's so bad that I think people should play it. Just don't pay what it goes for. Which isn't much, about 15 quid, but don't pay 15 quid for it. So, yeah. I wouldn't recommend Pretty Girls Collection 2. Luckily, number 19 is a game I would recommend. It was Bug Snacks. This is a strange game. It originally came out on the PS5, I think, as a launch title, wasn't it? And then it came to the Xbox later on. It's a first-person adventure game where you eat bug snacks. Basically, these bugs which are made of food, and you capture them and you feed them to other villagers or people who are with you on this island, and every time they eat something it becomes part of their body. It's incredibly bizarre, and they're all addicted to them. And yeah, you basically imagine like Pokemon go around hunting down creatures and trying to capture them to build up your encyclopedia of bug snacks. This time it is a very strange game, but it has pretty dark, morbid themes in it from a very cutesy looking game. It's pretty good. You have to set traps and things to capture some of these bug snacks. Like they'll be walking through, some of them would be like flying through the air, but they're on fire, so you have to find a way of putting them out and get them to land in water, or you get like a rope that you can fire out, which you can set alight by attaching it to things, so like the cold ones you melt them. It's weird, and you can like turn different bug snacks into other bug snacks by doing things to them. Like if you blow up one of them, like there's a one that's like a two lolly like popsicle kind of thing stuck together, but you blow them up and it comes two popsicles, so then you've got two different ones. Strange game, very strange game. As a completion goes, it's not too bad. It's literally capturing all the bug snacks, finishing the story, doing all the DLC, which I think was included in the Xbox version. I didn't think it was an extra. Yeah, that's basically it. It's a really good game, actually. I recommend it. I remember when it came out on the PS5, a lot of people mugged it off because it looked stupid. But I think it's by the people who did Octodad. Was it them? Deadliest Catch? It might be them, I don't know. It's by somebody who made something that was quite critically acclaimed. So I'd give it a go. It's a weird game. Weird game. It's actually quite long as well for what it is. You think, I don't know, well, that's about between 10 and 15 hours, I think, to get the completion. It's not overly long, but for when you see a trailer of it, you're like, that's going to be a short little couple hour thing, but it isn't. It's quite in depth. Enjoyed it. Yeah, give it a go. And the final one for this video, number 20, was a long one. I think this was 80 to 100 hours put into this. It was Dragon Quest Builders 2. If you've ever seen any of the Dragon Quest Builders games, basically, it's a mashup between the Dragon Quest games and Minecraft. But unlike Minecraft, it's not like go out and just do things, whatever you want, build things. You are set tasks by like villagers and people you need help. Like you need to go and someone say, can you build us a house here? You can build a house and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger the more blueprints you unlock. So you end up with building tower, like castles and tower defenses for people. But you go to different areas to find the materials to get them to bring it back. It's weird. There is a central island that you live on, which is your main one, which you can build whatever you want and do things on. But all the little islands you get sent to help out, they're like contained within their own world, so you can't bring everything back from there. It's very strange to try to explain it actually. But there is a big overarching story of like the world's going to end, you know, usual RPG stuff. It also has quite a bit of combat in it, so your buildings are always getting attacked, and it's real-time combat, so just hacking and slashing your way through them. But where you are a builder, not a fighter, you don't do a great deal of damage. You do have like companions and things you can take with you, and you can befriend creatures to build like an arsenal of people you go around with and like a group and take people out. But there's a guy that comes with you with a big hammer who dicks most of the enemies. The story is very, very predictable. It goes where you think it's going to go, but it doesn't mean it's not boring. It is just the building aspect of it. Once you've built something, you feel, I don't know, it feels like you're making progress. Because some of the blueprints are pretty in depth that you have to build. Like you can look at them on every level, so you can see like the ground level, then knock a couple levels up to build massive structures. It's good, really good. There is a couple of bits though where you get taken away from things and all your stuff gets taken, and that's just annoying. That kind of thing. I hate it when they do that in games. It's just you feel like you've been stripped back to square one, but it doesn't last too long when that happens. But overall, not a hard completion. You just got to collect everything, do everything. It's just very long. The first game, I'm pretty sure, had a lot of time limit stuff on it, and there was a lot of missables. I'll go back and finish that actually. But the second one, no, it was all pretty straightforward. I don't think you could miss anything. It was more get in from work, put it on, and build some stuff and relax. So I'd highly recommend Dragon Quest Builders 2. It was on Game Pass, but they took it off, and the Xbox version, there's no physical on the Xbox, annoyingly. So they took it off before I'd finished it, so I had to buy it, and it was like 40 quid. And I could have just played the PS5 version, no, PS4 version. Could have bought that for like £10 or something. So that's why you don't want an all digital future. Keep the physicals. Yes. £10 to £40, that's a big difference. But that's where I started it. Had to finish it. So yeah. But I still recommend it. But play it on the PlayStation, because you can get it cheaper. So that is all numbers 11 to 20. Let me know if there's anything there you've played, want to play, just don't ever play One Hell of a Ride, or that Pretty Girls collection. And this one's not full as many games I'll recommend as the first one, but that's the joy of it. If I find something, I'll sit there and play it, and see if I like it. A lot of the time I push myself through stuff to try and finish it, but yeah, it helps me find new games. I'll play something. That's why I like Game Pass as well. Things like Disc Room, I never would have played Disc Room if it wasn't on Game Pass, and that was amazing. I loved it. It was stupid, it was addictive. Same as that Umurangi Generation. Never would have even thought of looking at that on the store, and genuinely ended up quite liking it. It was relaxing, just taking photos. Yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'll be back soon, hopefully, with a part 3. Oh, there's going to be 5 parts, the last one I'll have. No, wait, I'll do 4 parts. I'll do 12 in the last one, I guess. Because there's no point in doing a 2-parter, is there? I haven't even completed them yet, so... Anyway. How many times can I say anyway? Anyway, I'm going to bugger off. Have fun, people.